your classes? Do you talk about like the 2 nurse verifiers and
They watched
all
the
that
video.
stuff? Okay.
Cause they had
Yeah.
that test on it this morning, so
Yeah,
I was
so-
just showing them the paperwork stuff they have.
Okay, yeah, so you have to be type and crossed and all that stuff. So once you have your type and crossed, you need to get consent. So always make sure you have blood consent form. Needs to be signed prior to. And then you also have your paper of vital signs, which is super important because we need to get pre-transfusion vital signs and then 15 minutes after. Some facilities, I think, require every 30 minutes during infusions. Some it's just the 15 minutes and then when it's done, which is what most places I've worked at has had. But yeah, you still have to have, again, 2 identifiers to verify all of these things with your unit number, your donor number.
And you gotta
all
be
of
right
that.
on the money. If you don't,
Yes.
like I had a person who had a butter kit in there and I didn't get my last check, I mean, like I was a few minutes off. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, blood bank sent that
Yeah.
information to my thing, cause I have to be honest on the thing.
Yeah, you
And
can't
my boss
be
called me into
off.
the office and said, you are off on your blood thing, and I was like, I was taking somebody to the bathroom, and it's like, no excuse. And she was right, you gotta be on the money, you have to be on the money.
That you do. Yeah, like you can't forget about your 15-minute check and run in there and do it,
You gotta
you
do
know,
that. We gotta-
17
we make
minutes.
We make them stay in there for
Yeah,
15
you gotta
minutes.
stay in there the 15 minutes, first 15. And we also start the blood slower, initially as well. So with blood tubing, it still goes in through the pump, and sometimes it's different based on your facility, but this is what I've seen with Alaris pumps, is that you have the tubing with the chamber that has a filter built into it, and then 2 ports to spike. One is for blood, one is for saline, because we need to prime all this tubing with saline first. So typically, with blood, we can use the tubing twice, or like with 2 units of blood, or it's good for, I think, a 4-hour time frame, because you know blood has to be infused within 4 hours.
Usually you can get 2 within 4 hours.
Yeah.
If they can handle it, you get 2 in.
So first thing always, whenever we open tubing, we want to lock it.
You wanna see this real quick or not?
And
Oh, thank you.
okay, so I'm gonna give my chamber a squeeze with the saline first. And prime that tubing through, prime the saline through. And then, actually I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the pump.
You got regular glasses on, right? You need to have your.
Yeah, I took mine off because I couldn't see. They're following my example. Okay. Ah! Okay, make sure that's clamped. But it happens. Carla,
Yeah.
how do you open these blood things?
Do what?
How do you open this blood?
On these, one has a different port.
These two I'm just ripping.
I know. Hemostats or something. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Holy smokes, and it
Thanks.
goes like,
Okay.
that's a new thing.
And you would have gloves on for this also.
Huh?
I told him to have gloves on because I don't have gloves on.
You want gloves?
Yeah, I'll get some.
What size you need?
Medium. And then you can get your blood down here. Lock your saline. Gotta get your blood in. Then when you start it, you program it. It has a place on here for packed red blood cells, and that's what it'll infuse through. So just your saline is used to prime it, and then we lock that. And then it's the blood going in afterwards. Because you don't ever want something to go in along with your blood. Anything else?
Did you back prime the blood tubing and I missed that?
No.
Okay.
I primed this and then forgot to lock this one, so it back primed on its own.
Okay.
But
Usually
typically-
I don't even put up to the blood, because when you put the normal saline in and you just squeeze the blood, it'll pull.
Yeah.
As it's taking the rest of the normal saline.
Yeah.
So you don't have to prime it down in itself, you just have to unlock it, squeeze it,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll start it down there. And then do this and it'll pull the blood down.
So, yeah. Anything else you can think of?